Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Happy Thursday to you. And we have got a Raid Shadow Legends video here that is important because we've got PYTHION packs, we've got the Fragment event calendar and everything coming out around the PYTHION Fragment event, and this is pretty well viewed as an important champion. So I want to give you some reaction to this, talk about the efficient route to go about planning for this, talk about some of the offers and how they compare to each other, talk about the stuff going on in game, the summoning events coming up this weekend, how to plan for next weekend, and how to kind of manage everything effectively around Raid as we head into the weekend. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so sorry this is a couple hours later than normal when I would like to get some first reactions out about a Fragment event calendar starting. I was out of town yesterday, so I got in very late, and I'm just running a bit behind here this morning compared to the typical workflow. But want to get you some reaction as soon as possible because there is some important stuff to take note of on a Fragment event calendar. Mainly, we're going to be looking at how many fragments are up for grabs. So we've got 155 down here up for grabs, which is pretty standard in what they have done for most. There's been a couple Fragment events that are a little bit different, but that is mostly normal. Then we're looking for, do we have Champion Chase and do we have Summon Rush? Now, we are going to be having a Champion Chase, and that is going to be this weekend during 2x Ancient Shards. And then on next weekend, we're going to be diving into a Summon Rush. Now, I think the Summon Rush is probably going to be a little bit tougher and a little bit less hyped up because we're probably not going to be having any sort of 2x event during that Summon Rush. It's probably going to be like a 10x where they've got 8 different champions, 4 legendaries, and 4 epics, and you've got boosted rates, but you're mostly just going to have to kind of pull enough points to go after those 20. Now, let me make my pen just a little bit finer here. So the way that this 20 is going to break down is it's going to probably be 5 plus 15. So the 5 will be a little bit realistic to get to, and it won't take a ton of points, but then you're going to have to pull a bunch to get over to 15, and it's not like Champion Chase where you can save up Doom Tower claimable champions or you know, fragment champions from the past that you have in your portal. No, it is a Summon Rush, so you're going to have to pull shards during that, and there probably won't be any sort of 2x going on. So what that means when it comes to planning for being efficient with our fragments is without having to count on tournament points, which is that 40, there's going to be 115 fragments besides that. So we're going to need 100 to summon. This means that we can miss 15. So there is a possibility, if you do everything perfectly, that you can skip out on the tough part of that Summon Rush and just go after this 5 points and still be able to get 100 fragments to summon PYTHION. So let's wipe all of that away and let's kind of go through the points and I'll walk you through illustrating what I'm kind of talking about here. So Ice Golem Tournament, this will start us out at 5. Remember, we're not going to count on any of these 40. We're just going to go with like the guaranteed what you can control if you're trying really hard. Then the Champion Chase, we'll go 5 plus 15. This will get us to 20, and then this will get us to 25. Then the Fire Knight here will get us to 30. And then Champ Training will be 10. That gets us to 40. And then the Spider Tournament, 45. And 5 more from the Classic Arena gets us to 50. And then another Dragon Tournament gets us to 55. So we take that 55 and we go on over here to the event side of things. And Champ Training will take us to 70. Dungeon Divers, 75. Artifact Enhancement gets us to 80. Dungeon Divers, 85. Artifact Enhancement gets us to 90, and then we're going to leave the Summon Rush alone here for a little bit. The Artifact Enhancement over here will get us to 95. So that is how you can see that when the Summon Rush is broken down to the 5 plus the 15, if we are perfect on everything else and we are at this 95, getting this 5 will get us to the 100 to go after PYTHION. So hopefully that kind of lays out a realistic route for you. I think that would be the optimal route for somebody that is excited about pulling a bunch of shards during 2x Ancients, or someone that's in a position where you are like me and you can see this congratulations, claim your reward. I've got a Ramantu ready to claim when the Champion Chase is live. So I think for those kind of people, it makes sense to really prioritize this weekend's Champion Chase tournament and then try to manage everything perfectly so that you end up in a situation where the Summon Rush, you only need to get after 5 points to do it. You can also try really hard to win one of these tournaments. Ice Golem, Champion Chase, like all of these have bonus points in them. I think the easiest one to win for a tournament will probably be the Ice Golem. People usually don't want to go super crazy spending a bunch of energy in the Ice Golem. It's like the least desired dungeon, but during a PYTHION fusion, it is probably going to be really difficult to do so. So you do want to try to plan as best you can what makes sense for your account. This is probably the route that I'm going to go. We're going to do the Champion Chase and get that maxed out this weekend. And then I'm going to be diligent every day about making sure I'm getting every fragment up for grabs. If there is a tournament that's realistic to win, I will prioritize spending a little bit of resources to make that happen. But otherwise, I'm going to end up in a spot where I make sure I get to this 100. Then if we start pulling up some of the tournaments and events in game, there is some important notes here. We do have a Dungeon Divers event starting here in like half a day. So you do want to be a little bit careful and not go super crazy until you can double dip and compete in that Dungeon Divers event while you're doing things like the Ice Golem. You can see that the Ice Golem is live right now, but you may want to wait and hold off to do a bunch of your Ice Golem runs until that Dungeon Divers is live. They will coincide with each other for about a day and a half or about 2 days exactly once that Dungeon Divers is live. So maybe like today, if you have to do anything, start preparing yourself to do well in the champion training stuff that's live. You know, the tag arena tournament, don't worry about that. This is not part of the fusion. So I would say preparing yourself to pull shards. You don't want to have to like sacrifice 3-star champions for XP to make space or something. You want to, I would say today, prepare your account to leave room for however many shards you need to pull and stuff like that for the event that we don't even see it live yet. The Summon Rush event is not, or the Champion Chase tournament is not live yet, so we can't really break that down. You see I can't even click on it yet because it's got 13 hours, but we'll know a lot more when the Champion Chase and the Dungeon Divers events are live in game. That's when we can really dive in and start trying to acquire some of these fragments and spend our points efficiently. So be a little bit careful today and just kind of prepare yourself for 13 hours from now when I'm recording this to really go live and start trying hard for these fragments. And I wouldn't really stress yourself out over the 4th anniversary Titan events and the Elaine's Path and that kind of stuff. I would kind of leave that as secondary and focus on the PYTHION events, especially if you are hyped up about going for the PYTHION fragments. Then I want to talk about that PYTHION Summon Pack because any spender on Raid is going to be curious about the value on this one because PYTHION's a pretty solid champion. And if you're going to be spending resources or spending any sort of money for offers in Raid, you would hopefully make sure that it's helping you be able to finish an event like the PYTHION one. So let's go ahead and compare this to some of the other stuff that we see in game. We got a price of 30 and we're going to be getting, let's see here. So we get the energy of 750 and 750k silver. Okay, 75 XP brews, and we'll say a rank 5 5-star chicken. Okay, right there. And then we get so Ancients of 7, the Voids of 3, and the Sacred of 1. And then we go down to the multi-battles and we add the 7 times 20 is 140 multi-battles. Okay, now we get an offer of 1.56. And for any of you that are new to the channel or anything, what that means is it grades out pretty good against what we typically see in game. Now, for me personally, I usually hold off until we get offers that are pretty close to the 2.0 mark. So I tend to lead towards being picky and wait for like the top 10% or so kind of offers that we're going to ever see in game. But for like a high spender that buys anything above average, this pack would qualify as that and make sense for that person to buy. For someone that is extremely picky, this one maybe not quite good enough. But you have to weigh your own options based on your spending and your account on if this would help you be able to complete the fragment events and all of that. Then, is there anything else noteworthy in the shop? We've got coins, a great deal mix pack. No, that one will be worse. The monthly pack, I can see how the month, like if you're gonna purchase one, the monthly pack or the PYTHION pack, I can kind of see which one is better between the two. Just to refresh our memories, we've got 1,000 energy, and then we've got the 800 gems, and we're gonna do the shards of 5 and 3 and 1. And I think that's it. That's everything. And boom, 1.59. So they are very, very comparable. The monthly pack and the PYTHION summon pack are like within decimal points of value within each other. So they both would be like good packs in the context of Plarium's shop here. But neither one of them is like a super amazing best offer you're ever going to see kind of thing. So there we go. Please remember to subscribe on your way out, because I will do my best every day to make sure and keep you in the loop of what you need to know going on in the raid community and the different events to make sure we're all playing efficiently. I'm also going to head on over for a couple hours to the live section of this channel and hang out with some of you that want to pop in and say hi and talk about PYTHION's event being live and all of that. I do also have a dedicated video here on the channel where I've got a maxed out PYTHION talking about what he looks like in battle and some of my thoughts on after using him and testing the maxed out version of him. If you haven't seen that yet, it is very easy to find. One of my most recent videos. Got a lot of other stuff I want to work on. I want to work on testing Tila and lots of fun content coming up this weekend as we head into next week as well. So I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.